Hello everyone, this is Himanshu Tiwari. Today, in the last class, we have seen what is source and what is queue. Today, we are going to discuss what is processor. So, let us add some processors in the model. I will delete this queue and instead of this queue, I will use a processor. As we discussed in the last class, either we can choose a processor by clicking on this icon, and then in 2024 version, there are two type of processor: classic and workbench. Both are for the same purpose. Both will do the same job, but just their visual will be different. So let us take the classic one and click here, and now you can see model is placed here. Since there is no difference to explain this, I will take this workbench also, and as you can see in the property panel, uh, just visual is different. You can see here workbench processor and it is processor, and all other things except visual is same for both model processor, and you can see their name is also processor 1 and processor 2. So I will delete one and we will go with only this one. What is processor? It is an equipment or entity provided in Flexsim software with the help of which entity you can do the processing work. Processor can be anything, like if you are working in a food industry, processor may be a kettle, and if you are working uh, in a manufacturing company, it can be a drill machine or anything on which any kind of process is going to happen. Okay, so how it works, let us see. In its property, statics, template we will discuss in the last class of introduction. Visuals, you can change the visual if you have any 3ds file. Size, shape, we discussed in the last class what is visual. Labels, you can assign label on either this box, this particular processor, or the flow item flowing through it. Next is processor. This is the important thing. Maximum content word, it means at a time it can process only one item. Animate item, I will show it in the upcoming, and I will show it right now. Just give me a second. What is setup time? Setup time is the time required to set up the equipment for doing the operation. Use operator, if you want to use operator for this particular setup work, you will have to assign an operator. Process time 10 second, it is default time. You can choose whatever you want. You can use statistical distribution also, like Laplace, normal, log normal, whatever you want. Okay, and use operator for the processing also. You can use operator. Output, send to port first available, and use transport. Since there is no worker assigned, like operator 1, let us assign one operator 2. Okay, but after this, the let us do one thing. I will connect queue with the processor, and again in front of that I will assign a new queue and a connection. It is a connection. Okay, now reset it, and we are going to run the model. You can see here he is going to pick and drop here. You can see it is animating. In the 10 second, it will, the box, the flow item will cover this length in 10 second, because processing time is 10 second, and then automatically it will go to the next queue. Okay, now if I will close this option and see, right now there will be no animation. It will be placed directly in the center of the model, and it will wait for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds it will directly go to the second queue. Okay, now let us assign operator to this person or this work also. You can assign the same operator for transport also, but we will choose another one. Let us change the visual. I can change the color of his shirt. Okay, now it is as connection or center connection. It is not a port connection. Center connected, I connected processor and this operator to processor 1, and now I will choose use operator 1 here. What is this specified number of operator to call? Either setup required one operator, or two, or more than two, or more than one, whatever kind of operator you want for this particular operation, you can specify it here. Now for the processing time also, you can assign here. You can uncheck the same as to setup, and you can increase the number of operators here. These kind of features you will only be able to see in 2024 version or after that, but before there are some less features. Okay. Now operator, who is going to be the operator? The operator current refers to the object on which it is going to apply the logic. Center object, center, since it is connected by center connection, so center object, and its index number is 1. It says that first center object connected will do the task. Okay. Now let us see what will happen if I run this model. This is going to there. Now it is calling it for the setup thing. Setup time is 0 seconds, so setup happens immediately. Now if I will increase it to 5 seconds, now you can see the changes in the model. Right now its state is waiting for operator. You can see here in the statistics tab of properties, it it is state change to setup. Okay, it is doing the setup thing, and after 5 seconds you can see its state change to processing and then idle. Okay, now I can assign one more task to this operator. I can assign is to output send to first port use of transport, and again the transport will be done by the same person. Then there is no problem. It comes here doing the setup, processing is done, and then it will transfer, the operator 2 will transfer the object to the third thing. I can do one more thing. I can add one more operator. Let us choose this time different one. I will connect it also center connection, and now in the case of operator transport I will choose use transport the second one. You can see here now the second port connected. If I will come here and go to the port and will choose input and center port operator 2 and operator 3. So this number 2 refers to the second operator which is connected to center connection, center port connection. Okay. Now what will happen? Setup and processing will be done by operator 2 and transport will be done by operator 3. Okay. So this is the processor. In the second type workbench, all features will be same, just visual is different. Again, in the last thing, output port, we have done this animate item. Okay, and priority we will discuss it later. Output first available. Okay, we have discussed all this in the last class also. Input can be either port connection or it can draw. When we will discuss some higher level of reasoning, we will go and use this object to pull operation. Okay, right now it is more than sufficient for the processor. And again we can discuss also trigger. You can trigger anything using processor. When the item comes or setup finish, process finish on entry, flow item when enter in the flow item, it will raise a flag, and another operation linked to this flag can be done. So we will discuss again this in the upcoming classes. For now, processor is everything. It's all done. Thank you. See you in the next class.